Hello, this is Cecil Suncure. Today we have a super awesome replay between Alive Fan and OGS Hero. I got this from the Team Liquid replays released when OGS Hero was first announced, recruited to Team Liquid. And we're going to go over the super awesome style of Chargelet, Blinkstalker, Immortal, Archon, and of course, Sentries. The coolest parts being Blink, Charge, and Archon. The idea is to pick your favorite opening and either go into Robo with Blink or Blink without the Robo, add on the Robo later. Basically, your two options are to get Blink after a Robo or get Blink before a Robo. And you'll use the Robotics facility for observers. The observers keep you safe from Dark Templar, and they also add insane mobility to your army. And I'll go ahead and try to go through the beginning of this replay pretty quickly. Basically, both of these players do pretty dang similar openings. Both of them go for a 3-gate opening, which should be able to be rather safe versus a 4-gate, as long as you stay up your ramp and play more defensive, because then you can use a key force field and defend a 4-gate. And both of them, if I recall correctly, both players opt for quite an early second Vespene Geyser. And here you can see the 3 gates for both players. And here's where it starts getting cool. As you can see, right about 540 is when Warp Gate finishes for OGS Hero and also for Alive Fan. His Warp Gates are slightly faster, and he's actually going to be aggressive. And he can be aggressive without knowing for sure if the other guy is 4-gating or not, because he's using stalkers. And using fast stalkers, you can run away if the other guy has a bunch more units. And right here, this is pretty cool. He's poking around with only 2 stalkers because he doesn't want his entire army to get trapped by force fields, just in case that happens. If that does happen, he'll only lose 2 stalkers, and he can still be in the game, even though that is a big hit. That's less than 5. And while all this is going on, he's building a Twilight Council, and that's going to be used for Blink momentarily. And now there's a bit of a scuttle in the middle. This isn't super important. And I have my selection on the Twilight Council, because that is definitely the coolest part. Right now, the red player opted for Robo first, and he's using observers. And right now, right when Blink finishes is the time when OGS Hero has the ability to be super aggressive, but once these immortals pop out, once 2 immortals get out, you pretty much can't do much with just Blink Stalkers. You'll have to have a bunch of charge lots get up the ramp somehow. Usually you do that with an Archon, but yeah, these Blink Stalkers can't do much when there's 2 or more immortals on the field. And now both players laying down their Nexus. The red player is forcing his way down the ramp, building this Nexus, forcing his way with these Immortals. Although he can't really be aggressive across the map because Immortals are slow. OGS Hero, just applying the pressure. Perhaps maybe he'll get this Robo player out of position or pick something off. Anything you can pick off of a player with a Robo first is good, because their army will get exponentially better as they get more units out of their Robo facility. And now HerO is getting his robotics facility. So he opened with his favorite opening, or his opening of choice at least. This might not be his favorite. And then went for Blink. And then he played a normal Blink. Expanded and got the Robo. And he's getting observers out of it. Here you'll see soon is where the cool part of this game starts unfolding. OGS Hero, our adored fan, goes for charge and gets a bunch of Archons along with charge. And you'll see him get charge anytime. He's also getting a Twilight Council, and he's just going to switch into Charge Lot Archon with his already existent Blink Stalkers. He shouldn't lose many of these Blink Stalkers if he plays correctly. And then a quick note about Immortals. Immortal Stalker is the hard counter to just Stalkers. Immortal Stalker is extremely awesome. Also, if you can ever get an Immortal instead of a Stalker, Immortals have slightly better DPS than a Stalker does against light units. Although they are than two Stalkers against light units is what I meant. So that means Immortals are going to, in any situation, be more population efficient. So as armies start getting really large, you want more Immortals rather than Stalkers, because they simply dish out more DPS in a ratio of DPS to population. And now he's getting these Archons. The coolest part about this is how stinking mobile you are. Charge lots, super fast, Blink Stalkers, extremely fast. Observer allows the Blink Stalkers to go anywhere. And I'll go ahead and try to point this out. I noticed when I was watching this replay on my own, OG's HerO is just doing some absolutely clever army movements that I think ended up giving him the biggest advantages he had. Basically what he just did here is he had a Stalker. I'll try to rewind just a hair. See this Stalker over here? The Stalker is just looking for a third, really. Looking for a third, looking for the third base, looking for the third base. And here will come a live fan with this probe at any moment. I'm going to go ahead and go faster to get this. Here comes the probe. Now he's letting this Stalker die as sort of his bait. So a live fan brings his Stalkers that way. And now that OG's HerO knew where the Alive Fan's army was, he's going to go ahead and blink in here and deal some damage, because the army is clearly far away. Now he keeps his slow units all clumped together and Zealots, because they can't blink up a giant cliff. And he's expecting the Blink Stalkers to engage the Blink Stalkers, but he's also expecting Alive Fan's slow units to come down here and try to trap the Blink Stalkers, which is when these units right here are going to flank his. And since he has an Archon, that'll go in his favor for sure. And as you can see here, he kills off a free Immortal, 2 Stalkers, and he got 2 pylons down and temporary unpowered 2 gateways, which is going to disable a live fan's ability to produce units, and you can see his money's going high. That's a really large amount of money that he needs to be spending as fast as he can, but he can't really, mostly because of those gateways. And now his third is up sooner because of that this whole Blink Stalker thing up the ramp. He's forcing a live fan to move his army all around, and that let him safely get up a third because a live fan's army is preoccupied. And while that's all going on, he's attacking with these slow units, actually hitting the third. So now a live fan's just dragging his whole army to deal with these Blink Stalkers. And OG's HerO comes in with the super awesome flank with the slow units, killing this third base. And once this third base goes down, and he's going to go ahead and with his super mobile Observer and Blink Stalkers keep him alive. Once this third base goes down, it is GG for a live fan, and it is going to be a victory for our HerO, OG's HerO. And that's overall the idea of, that's like overall the game plan you're going to have when you're going for Twilight PvP. Quick note about engagements: whenever you engage, try to get your Archon shooting his Zealots. They deal the most damage against Zealots and Sentries. If his Zealots die faster than your Zealots will close in on his expensive units, like Stalkers, Immortals, and then you'll win the engagement. Also try to get your, of course, Immortals to fire on Stalkers, blink your Stalkers back to keep them alive as long as possible, and that's basically the gist of how to engage with this style. And the rest of the game is just a slaughter from HerO. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe, as that'll help me get out future content in which we both benefit